I appreciate your company on The Pulse today. And The Pulse, as always, is brought to you by Defendrol Cough Expectorant. Defendrol Breathe Easy, Feel Easy. I am MFA Akosiaditi, and thank you for choosing us. First story, a retired nurse who worked for 40 years at the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital is questioning government's decision to engage retired nurses to fill the gap created by striking nurses. Comfort Dupoku indicates an attempt by any retired nurse to comply with government's request will be a betrayal to the profession. She says nurses have long worked for poor remuneration, negatively affecting the standard of living for those on pension. Nanaya Ojima has more in this report.
Madam Comfort Edupoku retired from active service 5 years ago. The amount she received as lump sum from the Social Security and National Insurance Trust contributions was invested in an over-the-counter medicine shop, which is now the main source of livelihood. To her, the retirement package received does not speak well of the years and energy spent in the profession.
I will say it emphatically that the conditions of service is very bad. I was surprised when I received my retirement package. The amount was very small. I couldn't believe my eyes. It is about time things change. They can't treat them like how we were treated.
The retiree believes it is about time those in the profession fought for an improved condition of service to live a better life upon retirement. She warns against any retired nurse heeding to the call to volunteer their service.
We worked with a lot of pain in our hearts. We refused to take any action for our conditions of service to be improved. Our younger colleagues should be treated better. They can't end up like us. We can't see all of them leave the country.
Meanwhile, the PRO of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association in Ashanti region, Haruna Yakubu, has also asserted that the retired nurses are not able to take on the workload.
That they are also our members and they are part of this legitimate fight that we are fighting. And besides, they have worked for so many years and we need to let them rest. So we should not subject them to this stressful event at the moment. So that's why we say, no, we don't subscribe to this. They should rather find a lasting solution to this matter.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
The government says it is working through backroom channels to end the strike by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, describing it as a dire situation threatening the lives of patients across the country. Government spokesperson Felix Kwachefosu spoke on PM Express on Tuesday.
Somebody remarked to me that a hospital can do without doctors, but you cannot do without nurses. And this is a doctor, actually, who told me this. And so we know that they are the binding agents that holds the health delivery system together. And therefore, their presence at various hospitals is an absolute imperative. So it is deeply regrettable that they have had to call this industrial action. As governments, we have been engaged in backroom efforts to have the impasse resolved as quickly as possible so that they can go back to post and render the essential services that they are noted for. It was important that we updated the Ghanaian public on the steps being taken. One, to address the impasse itself so that the nurses can go back to work. And then two, what measures are in place to mitigate the effects on patients, because as a government, it's our responsibility to look out for their welfare and do what we can to ensure that the strike does not imperil them and put them in
Well, still on the striking nurses, Prosper Kobe from the Kolebu chapter of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has been explaining the situation on Joy News today.
You are our employer. You have agreed on some items as our conditions of service. We are just hoping that you sign that document and assure us that at the end of the month, June, we should expect those that will come from the central government, and then our facilities can go ahead and pay the ones that they are supposed to pay. That is our hope.
You just say that you recognize that we all are addressing you by the title essential workers, but it didn't reflect in the budget. The government says that it's a budget and they've prepared it already. You do not want to give any allowance at all to 2026 at all. What is giving you that? Why are you not having confidence in the government?
It's difficult to understand. Our document was available to this government before the budget. How come there is no space? It's not like you are done with the budget and you are now asking that we give you space to create it. You are now developing the budget, especially the mid-year. Our document has been on your table since January. Why is it difficult to put something there for the struggling nurses?
Okay.
We are just struggling to survive.
Do you appreciate that the mid-year budget is not entirely different from the whole year budget that is usually read at the beginning of the year, which this year was read in March? And so maybe there's genuine no allowance for this particular implementation, and that when they take it to 2026, still you won't go to work?
Yes, the fact of the matter is that it is only the government that has changed. Our employer remains the same.
Okay.
And all these directors are still at post. They were all aware. In fact, most of them were there, and some of them actually signed this document. So when advising the new government, one would have expected that they will brief them, we need to make provision for this and that. So it is not easy for us to understand that, yes, 2025 budget was developed, nurses were not considered as far as their conditions of service were concerned, and so we should sit down somewhere. All other things are important. We are going to work on them, but for the conditions of service for nurses in Ghana, we cannot get space. It is difficult for us to understand.
But exactly how does this strike affect the country economically and the health workforce of the country? And Isaac Kofi of a research desk joins me in studio. Kofi, yesterday we were here trying to understand how much would cost the government if they wants to implement all of these agreements. But today we want to understand the bigger picture economically. How much is it going to be costing the country if they don't even go back to?
Well, so it will be good to start from the picture of the total number of nurses we believe may be on strike at the moment, and fresh data coming in as a result of our monitoring of the GRNMA's website, where as of yesterday, the website was showing that their total membership was around a little about 40,000 nurses. But today, based on our monitoring, this data has been updated, and fresh data coming in is that GRNMA is now quoting or pegging their total membership at 330,000 people. That is the number we are getting, over 120,000 registered nurses. And as you can see on the screens, this is the latest update we are getting from the GRNMA's website, where just yesterday, that number you see on the screens was a little over 40,000. Now we are talking about more than 120,000 registered nurses. They even make mention of their international members, which is now around 3,757. This for us paints a bigger picture, trying to actually understand the magnitude of the strike. And in terms of the workforce you spoke about, the health minister himself has been speaking today, and he says that, look, if you look at the total number of the health sector's workforce, around 180,000 people. And 180,000 people, if you compare this to what is available right now on the GRNMA's website, that means that you have about 66% of our health sector's workforce currently on strike. If you compare this number to even the total nursing workforce, it's more than 70%. So in terms of the magnitude, it tells you where we are at the moment, where more than, or let me say even 7 out of 10 nurses that we have, or let's say, 7 out of 10 nurses we have currently are on strike as a result of, this action being taken by their mother body. And in terms of the, financial cost to the state, yesterday, the Deputy Finance Minister made us understand that if government should go ahead to implement this, it could cost the state in excess of 2 billion Ghana citizens. We said that, if government should do this on a monthly basis, in fact, if it should implement all the 8 demands in full, we could be talking about 167 million Ghana cedis every month. And government says that we have looked at the numbers. This year doesn't look good. If you can come to the negotiation table for us to look at other years, let's say 2026, we could possibly do a percentage of what was agreed upon. The nurses say, no, we are not agreeing to any new agreement. What we are standing with is that 8 agreements we had with government in 2024, which they believe any subtraction will not, will not make them come back to their post, where they believe that all 8 should be implemented. And government has made the point that if you look at this year, for instance, the total budget that government wants to use to pay workers is around 76 billion Ghana cedis. And government doesn't want to go above that because they know of the tight fiscal position that they have. We've been looking at the health sector's budget, and for the first time in a long time, we are seeing a slash of some 0.26% of the health sector's budget. That tells you that government is aware of its fiscal burden. The nurses are also aware that this is the best opportunity for them to negotiate or get this through the window. Else, if the minister is done reading the media budgets, they may have to wait for another year, which they believe that they can't wait.
Well, Kofi, let's pay attention to what many also have said is that economically, we think that the government needs about 2 billion. You've been giving me the accurate figure between yesterday and today, but government says that, well, it needs about 2 billion to be able to curb this situation. They've said that, have we put a value on how much the country is losing every time their health workers are not in the facilities? Today, when I engaged Pastor Pogby from Kolebu, he mentioned that, well, he thinks that it is biting, but they also believe that there are other nurses who, and I'm sure they will make up for the three remaining or 30%, 3 out of the 10 persons who are still working, and doctors are also, stepping in to help the situation. Do you think that it costs us genuinely as a country, financially, economically, overall, if the nurses do not go back? And do you think that it will be more than how much the government will need to curb the situation?
Well, government has been making a fantastic argument. And they said that we may be looking at just the 2 billion, but that 2 billion Ghana cedi may have a snowballing impact. For instance, if you look at the health sector alone, or the health ministry alone, it has about more than 90 different associations under the health ministry. If the ministry or the finance ministry should go ahead to implement the needs of the nurses, what will be the next organization or association? So government believes that although it will cost the state some 2 billion to implement the nurses' demands in full, what is ahead right after government hits to the cause of the nurses? Are we going to have series of groups coming in? This is what government is trying to avoid, and saying that now we know our fiscal position. But many have also said that the president says because of the appreciation of the cedi, we've been able to cut or slash away some 150 billion Ghana cedis off our debt. So the question is, if not now, then when? Exactly where, if you look at 2026 and 2027, these are years where our debt servicing obligations are going to be very huge. And so that points to the question of credibility, and in terms of whether these nurses can really trust government, especially when they make the argument that there were certain groups who came to your doorstep not long ago, demanded certain things, and you have promised as a finance ministry to go ahead and pay. So is it a matter of priority? Is it that government doesn't prioritize nurses? But government says, no, that's not the case. We know your contribution to the workforce. In fact, we know that about 60% of the health sector's workforce comes from nurses. And so definitely you are a priority. But then the nurses are saying that if that's the case, then please go ahead to implement all these 8 demands in full. But the argument government keeps insisting that they are not just afraid of the 2 billion, but what may come after.
I guess I understand, but I'm certain that the General Secretary of the Ghana registered. But before I go to you, Dr. David Tinkran, whom we have on Zoom, I'll take you to Parliament. To recall yesterday that there was some bit of altercation in Parliament yesterday between the First Deputy Speaker and Dr. Ayu Afriye yesterday in Parliament when he wanted to make that statement. But the Speaker himself has been addressing that issue. And I'll take you there now.
From the majority side, we're seen forming a physical barrier around the honorable member for Efiduase Asukore, thereby obstructing the enforcement of the Speaker's directive, including a lady, honorable lady. This was followed by scenes of heated confrontation, including the hurling of unprintable and offensive language toward the chair as the First Deputy Speaker exited the chamber after the House had adjourned. In fact, when I saw the honorable lady, I sympathized with her because, you know, anytime the honorable ladies are getting close to the Speaker, there's always an allegation that that's the Speaker's girlfriend. We don't have girls in this house. I even prefer you say Speaker's woman friend, not girlfriends. How many girlfriends can Speaker take at this age? The Speaker is very grateful to the Almighty God for the blessings. If not at this age, I would have been among the category you know by your general terms, look no do. But honorable members, the honorable members, you are finding it difficult to understand look no do. Please, the Speaker has no girlfriend in this house. The Speaker has no woman friend in this house. You are all honorable members, and you have everything available to assess the Speaker. No discrimination at all, whether male or female. Honorable members, allow me to clarify the process for admitting statements in accordance with the standing orders and the established practice of the House. I know many of you are conversant with the rules, but we have a public to go with, and this will assist many to understand what takes place in the House. I listened to the debate on this matter, and many people were misled. And so just allow me to go through some of the rules for the edification of the general public. Orders 91 to 95 of the Standing Orders of Parliament generally address statements and ceremonial speeches made on the floor of Parliament. Orders 93, 94, and 95 regulate the making of a statement by a member of Parliament on the floor of the House. And Order 93 provides, 1, by the indulgence of the House and the leave of the Speaker, a member may explain a matter of personal nature or make a statement on a matter of urgent public importance at the time appointed for statements under Order 67. 2, the proposed statement shall be admitted by the Speaker with or without modification. 3, the text of the statement as admitted shall be read when the member is called upon to make the statement. 4, a statement other than a personal statement may be commented upon by other members for a limited duration of time not exceeding 1 hour. 5, a member may comment on the statement for a period not exceeding 5 minutes, and the comment shall not provoke debate. 6, where a member makes the statement, the Speaker, considering the comment on the statement made directly, may direct a committee to investigate and inquire into the matter, and where necessary, proposed legislation. And 7, the Speaker shall cause to be transmitted to the clerk statements admitted to be made on a particular day to be advertised on the order paper for the purpose of notice to members. And 8, the clerk shall make available to members copies of admitted statements. Honorable members, this is the procedure. We have not been following it. We have to follow it to the letter to forestall some of these occurrences. Order 94 provides for time for statements, and it says the time for statements shall ordinarily not exceed 1 hour, except that the Speaker may permit statement and comment outside the prescribed period in exceptional cases. In fact, in other jurisdictions, they are timed, and each member is given 2 minutes to make the statement. And so when you are reading the statement and it comes to 2 minutes, you are timed off, and you just submit the rest of the statement to the clerk. But here we indulge members sometimes to even use 10 minutes to read their statements. In Order 95, the order says a member whose statement has been admitted may withdraw the statement by leave of the Speaker. In line with this, it is the accepted parliamentary practice that such statements are shopped through the leadership of both caucuses, reviewed by the Speaker ahead of the statement. That is why we say pass your statements through your leaders, who, after going through it, will recommend to the Speaker. And there's good reason for that, because the information available to leaders are not available to all members. The Speaker reviews it because the Speaker is going to preside, and the Speaker is to ensure that your comments and the statement itself is in accord with the law and the rules of the House. Then the statement is listed on the notice of the order paper under statements. Copies of the admitted statement are circulated to all members through the clerk. We need members to have advance notice in order to make meaningful comments. These are the new rules that we adopted as a House. This process exists to ensure order, prevent ambushes on the floor, and give members prior notice of matters to be raised in the House. In this instance, no prior notice was given. No text was submitted prior to the sitting. But from the information leaders gave me, they had discussed this matter. But the statement got to the First Deputy Speaker whilst he was seated at his seat in the chamber. And whilst he was trying to read it, I called upon him to take over the chair. So he did not actually go through it, and he did not admit it. So the statement was not admitted. Accordingly, no such statement could lawfully be made on the floor. Honorable members, I don't need to talk to you about the powers of the Speaker. They are clearly stated in the law. If you read the Parliament Act 1965 and the standing orders of the House, they are actually colossal. And if fully applied, could be of serious danger to the career progression of members of Parliament. But I will just say this, that Shakespeare taught all of us that even a dog is obeyed in office. When we sit here, we are not saints. We are not infallible. But there's good reason why we are called right honorable. And you are called only honorable. The Speaker, however the situation, is always right on the floor. When he's wrong, the law has given you the opportunity as to how to come back to the same floor to prove that he was wrong. So please, I repeat, even a dog is obeyed in office. I want honorable members to take this in good faith. I know in the light of these events and in defense of the institutional integrity of Parliament, I refer to the conduct of the honorable member for Effiduase Asokore. This is not a matter to be referred to any committee. It's a matter that I've discussed with leadership, and we've agreed that it should be resolved. And we will resolve it here openly for all of us to be guided so that in future we don't fall foul to these rules. I have reviewed the records. I have listened to the leaders, and I think in the interest of all of us, particularly our rules, the order of the House, discipline, and mutual respect, I want to call on all of us to do what is proper. We should not unilaterally override our rules, undermine authority, or obstruct the due process. They endanger not only the legitimacy of our work, but they also undermine the authority, the relevance, and value of Parliament. And more importantly, the very survival of our democracy. I want all members, including myself, to recommit ourselves to the values of dialogue, accountability, and the rule of law. Please, I want to end here. Thank you for your patience and your understanding, and give opportunity to the leaders of the House to make some comments. I thank you for your attention. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for the steps you've taken to guide all of us to solve this problem. We've already assured you at conclave that you will have our cooperation in ensuring that there is order to guide our proceedings and to help uphold the integrity of this House. Mr. Speaker, moving to resolve problems of this House is a continuous process. And without belaboring the point, I reiterate to you my assurances at conclave that we will assist the chair, particularly now that you are so overwhelmed with some other administrative duties and other commitments that your two deputies would be with us most of the time. We believe that members of this House, their position is guaranteed by the Constitution. So we agree that we need to accord them that courtesy. Mr. Speaker, I conclude by reiterating your call on us to have patience. I would add tolerance. We are here as a family, and I recall Right Honorable Do Ajahu when in 2013 we had the orientation at Gimpa. He shared with us his own experience as an MP with fire in his belly when they saw the Honorable J.H. Mensah, the minority leader of the MPP side at the time, that he was quite combatant, only to realize that after sitting, he and the Speaker, the Right Honorable D.F. Anna, were in the office enjoying some good whiskey. And he told them that you young men, you think we are here to fight. We are not fighting. We discuss ideas. And it changed his perception about his attitude towards colleagues opposite him in the chamber. The Speaker, for me, I believe that we don't just come here as parliamentarians, but we come here to build friendship and relationship. And Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is that friendship and relationship that earn you that your enviable position. We may not be happy that you assume the chair in the 8th Parliament, but it's because of relationship that perhaps got some people to believe that, oh, that is our friend, let's entrust in him the powers of speakership. So I want to encourage colleagues that no matter what, the Speaker has called upon us to have patience. I am adding tolerance to it. We may disagree, but that is the beauty of politics. We cannot always agree. Let's disagree, but be measured in the language we use even where we disagree. Mr. Speaker, we cannot all be perfect. We are never perfect. We make mistakes. I make mistakes. But we should be committed to the national interest and know that today we may be to your left, tomorrow we may be to your right. Fortunately, the two political parties Mr. Speaker, my respected senior Muntaka Mubarak has not spoken into the mic, but he's saying that at least Mintra 5 years answer Makasa. Mr. Speaker, you have only 3.5 years left. Mr. Speaker, so fortunately, the two political parties that have taken the stage in this fourth Republican Constitution have all tasted power and have tasted opposition. So I think we must better understand this whole concept of patience and tolerance. So, Mr. Speaker, I would end here by thanking you and assuring you that the needful as you have enjoined us to pursue. Oh, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
yes, Minority Leader.
The needful as you've enjoined us to pursue shall be pursued. I want to thank you once again for the fatherly approach you've adopted in dealing with this matter. Thank you so much.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think your statement is explanatory enough of the issues of yesterday and the rules that should govern proceedings in this House. And so, Right Honorable Speaker, I have no intention of belaboring the point. I think all I can say is that we should all take time to study the rules. We should all take our time to study the rules. My brother, Honorable Muntaka, is here. My brother, Eric Opoku, is here. Haruna just left. Even after 20 years in this chamber, every single morning or afternoon I enter the chamber, I still take the rules to check before I make any move. Even when my backbench or my colleagues are trying to do something, I know I will have to defend them. So I'm quickly glancing through the rules. Sometimes when you see me looking at my phone, I have made an electronic copy of it, and so I'm busy looking at it to make sure that if somebody is faltering, I can check them and draw their attention that, no, that's not what the rules say. I think the problem is that we are not investing in the rules. If we invest in the rules, many of the issues that we are confronted with in this chamber will not arise. They will not arise. People will know when and how and under what circumstances a statement should be made, no matter how urgent. So my only plea is that let's invest in the rules. It is not about how loud you can shout. It's not about the size of your muscles. It is not. It's not how big your chest can be. It is not. Somebody says I should add breast, but I won't add breast. It is basically what the rules say that you can do or not do in this chamber. And when people are trying to insist on the rules, please let it not be presented as if there is an attack on one side of the House. It's just the rules. It's simply the rules. The rules may make provision for us to make concessions, but those concessions must be willingly made. They cannot be coerced. They cannot be forced on anybody. It has to be negotiated and willingly made. If the evidence is that there is no willingness to make those concessions, we must continue as dictated by the rules. So, Mr. Speaker, you have a long business today, and so I will not repeat any of the things that you have already said. I believe in this chamber, you remain a fountain of wisdom, sagacity, and knowledge of the rules, and we'll continue to learn from you and to be guided by you. And I thank you very much for giving us this ruling without penalizing any member of this House. Your magnanimity is appreciated. Clearly, there were very serious and egregious breaches of the rules.
Honorable Majority Leader, clearly it's not the understanding of the House that you proceed along that journey. So you just conclude. Please don't chip away my powers. I have to decide whether he should withdraw or he should leave it at that. Not any of you. So please desist from going in that direction and then conclude.
Mr. Speaker, you yourself said you will not punish. You clearly said that you will not punish. And that is what I'm commending you and thanking you for. To say you will not punish is to admit that there was a punishable conduct. So I'm just commending you.
Majority
I'm
Leader.
just commending you for not punishing.
Majority
I'm just thanking
Leader.
you, Mr. Speaker.
Please.
I'm just thanking you, Mr. Speaker.
Please, please. I know you very well. Sometimes, you see, do I say it?
So Mr. Speaker, I'm just thanking you. I'm just thanking you.
Do I say it?
I'm just appreciating you, Mr. Speaker. My Nigerian friends say, I'm just appreciating you, Mr. Speaker. You are highly appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please know that this House, the Parliament of Ghana, is globally ranked very high, and people respect us. And it has shown in all the conferences you've attended that any time a member of Parliament stands for a position from Ghana, the member is elected and given the position. Have you realized that? Yes. They don't even contest you. Once we say you are from Ghana and you are contesting a position, it's given to you. And many of you seated here are holding those positions. So please, in your own interest, even if you are not talking about the country, your own interest, we have to conform. I sit here as the chair of all the speakers in Africa. And that is why you see me, as somebody said, changing plane in mid-air. I don't know how that happens, but I have to run around the parliaments in Africa, whether north, south, east, west, central, they call on me. And you know I'm the immediate president of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, 182 parliaments. And so we've been well branded and marketed. And that inures to your benefit and to the benefit of the country. So take these matters seriously. I'm getting to the end. You are just starting. That will be a better career for you than me. So please, allow the old man to mentor you properly. We have in our midst some distinguished visitors from our schools. You know, they are leaders of today and tomorrow. We have students from...
Well, and away from Parliament, we're continuing with that very conversation that brought this mayhem in Parliament, where the Speaker has had to address us, the Parliament, and as well for us to also watch live on The Pulse today. And thank you so much for staying. Now, going back to the strike action, earlier we told you that we've got Dr. David Tinkron, as General Secretary for the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, who's joined us. And Doc, thank you so much for staying with us all this while. And so it looks like you and government, there is a stalemate. Is the Ghana Registered Nurses Association coming up with a sudden measure to make progress? Doc, if you can unmute, please.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. Let me take this opportunity to extend my warmest greetings to all nurses and midwives in Ghana who are breaking their back and doing the needful. To answer your question specifically, I'm not too sure that we have a stalemate. I think that there's room for appropriate, constructive conversation, so long as it is purposeful and it will not lead to our detriment, and for that matter, our members' detriment. We are open to any discussion. We are having informal conversation with people that we consider outside even the remit of the ministry, or if like the employer that holds the propensity of resolving this matter. So we are putting up a proposal to be submitted to the employer. They submitted a proposal to us, which we kicked against, and it's only fair that we also follow up with a counter proposal. And we believe that we'll be able to resolve this matter. The only thing is that the proposal that was tabled by the employer was not favorable. I mean, it was such a proposal that cannot even be looked at. Okay, and it clearly shows that we are dealing with people who do not really put emphasis and recognize the enormous contributions that nurses and midwives provide in the health continuum.
Right, now, before I come to the content of your proposal, let's go back to the proposal from your employer. Please remind us, what exactly was that proposal for you to want to kick against completely? All right,
so all of you are very much aware that we completed the signage of the condition of service as far back as May 2024, right? And yes, it was put to take effect from 1st July 2024. And fast forward, we had few challenges and it didn't see implementation. Now, let me just limit myself to the implementation, the question you asked, because you don't have a lot of time on your hands. Indeed, they brought a proposal which is seeking to defer the payment of our condition of service to January 2026. Mind you, the condition of service is a living document, okay? And it wasn't done in silos. It wasn't done in vacuum. It was done and all the parties signed to it. And that is why it's called collective agreement. And sometimes people think that we are still at the negotiation table. We are not at the negotiation table. Negotiation is done and dusted. Right? And for that matter, all what was left was implementation. So they sought to defer the implementation to 2026, so to say that all the work that we did and the arrears that are supposed to accrue to our members we're going to be whittled away. Again, I mentioned earlier that the condition of service is a living document and it expires in 2 years. It expires, it's actually in 2026. So if you tell me that you want to defer my 2024 condition of service payments to January 2026, then you are going to deprive me a window of negotiation in 2026, because they intended to even stagger the payment of these condition of service from January 2026 to God knows how long. And I believe they were talking about 2027. Okay, they were going to spread it for that long. But then it tells you that we are going to be deprived of that window of opportunities in 2026. That is why we kicked against it. And I cannot just fathom why a budget was read in March and we were assured in January, in February, and even in March before the budget was read by the sector ministry and the Minister of Finance.
What's in your proposal now, currently? Of course, we know what the proposal is in government, but what's your proposal now?
Is under the works. We haven't finished it. It's being worked on. And my president touched me and a few other people to put the draft together and submit to her for the entire National Council to deliberate upon it. So I cannot disclose anything in our proposal, but we believe that this proposal, if it's adhered to, will actually help us to be able to navigate our way through this complex web that the employer has brought upon himself.
But are you in any way getting any form of pressure from within your own members at all, or all of your members are happy about the strike?
Absolutely not. In fact, we are rather convincing them to back down. As a matter of fact, they are asking us to tighten the grips on other facilities that are currently given some form of care. For instance, the check facility, all the check facilities all the nurses and midwives working at church facilities are members, and they are paid by government, but not the Christian organizations. And for that matter, we can ask them to stop immediately from attending to patients. But we want the Ghanaian to know that this is not targeted to any Ghanaian or the government. We think that, for a very long time, nurses and midwives have been taken for granted. Okay, it's a systemic problem, and we need to nip it in the bud.
And that point has been very well made in the past days. But what do you say to vulnerable Ghanaians who, at least, will still need some health care? Have you considered any measures to minimize any form of fatality or casualty at all, or that's not your concern at all?
It's an absolute concern. That's why we haven't tightened our grip on the chat facilities.
What would the tighten look like? What would a tighten grip look like? Otherwise,
we can easily ask them to withdraw their services immediately, like what we have done at the public hospitals. We can do that even now. But I'm saying that I don't want the ordinary Ghanaian to think that we are targeting them or this cause of action is intended to put them in any harm's way or to see to the demise of Ghanaians. Let me tell you something. Nurses and midwives are not immune to disease conditions. As I speak with you, we as vulnerable as any other. Okay? We are not unique.
Okay, so but Doc, I hear you clearly that you definitely are not going to tell me what's going to contain in that proposal. Sooner or later we'll know what's in that proposal. But surely you can for sure tell me that deferring it to 2026 is not part of that proposal, at least on top of your mind.
You can even contemplate. In fact, we will not, in our least contemplation, think about that. You see, it appears as if the people of Ghana, and especially the people that we are dealing with, do not understand the nuances of the health continuum. Do you know the work of a nurse in a hospital? And you think that you can read a budget and advertently or inadvertently decide not to include condition of service that has been signed.
I see that you're trying at least to make progress and considering the deadlock with government. So in this short proposal, I just want to take a trip. Top of your mind at least, there should be more than one or two, but you can at least let out one proposal at least, which will not hurt you, which will not harm you.
That it's something that is under the works, and I will not be able to put it across. But I can assure you that we have sat down and looked at it, and we believe that it has the propensity of helping us to navigate through this complex web that we find ourselves. I believe strongly that we have had several people, quite influential people, very notable people who are not like those wild dogs that have been set against us, who have approached us and spoken to us. Some are from Parliament, some are from our own retired nurses and midwives who have been called upon disrespectfully to come and offer services. But obviously...
Now, who are these wild dogs who have been set against you?
Obviously, you know some of these gendarme journalists that you find themselves in Ghana. The kind of imprintable words they are using on my president and my person. I wonder which kind of journalism school that they attended and the kind of training that they have received. We are very refined people. Nurses and midwives are refined people. We are very disciplined people. Otherwise, they would have received a double dose of those imprintable words.
Doc, you have my attention, but thank you as well for giving us your attention today. And moving away from the strike, Education Minister Haruna Idrisu is asking candidates sitting this year's Basic Education Certificate examination to approach the exams with integrity, focus, and confidence, cautioning them against the temptation of examination malpractice and emphasizing the importance of discipline throughout the process. More than 600,000 candidates are sitting this year's Basic Education Certificate examination, marking the start of their transition to senior high school. Haruna Idrisu reassured students that the BECE is not merely a test of memory, but a true reflection of their comprehension and preparation and years of dedication.
On behalf of the President, the Ministry of Education, the Government of Ghana, I want to extend warm wishes and heartfelt encouragement to all the candidates. As they enter the exam hall, I urge them to remain calm, focused, and determined, and avoid any form of examination malpractice. Believe in their ability to succeed. They would succeed. They prepared for this day, and they will succeed through honest effort. They should remember that this examination is just a test of memory, but a reflection of their growth, their character, and potential for which they've been trained for.
Now, still on this, we'll take you across the country for updates on the exams. Now, Deputy Minister of Finance and Member of Parliament for Sujaman, Thomas Ampim Dako, has also been assuring some of his candidates in his constituency that whoever is able to achieve a score of a single digit will have a full sponsorship for the secondary education of any of the BECE candidates in his constituency.
The question papers are given to you.
As the 2025 Basic Education Certificate Examination BECE begins nationwide, 1,943 candidates are sitting for the exams in the Esojaman district of the Eastern region. To motivate the student and improve academic performance, MP for Esojaman and Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampim Nyako visited several exam centers accompanied by the DCE and District Education Director Augustina Ajoa Owusu. During the tour, Mr. Ampim pledged to fully sponsor prospectors of any candidate who scores a single-digit aggregate in this year's exams, cautioning them against examination malpractice.
Do not want to hear is that students from Esojaman have cheated in the exams and so their papers have been cancelled. I will provide all the items on your prospectus. If you make a single digit in this examination, as soon as you are posted to any of the secondary schools, you and your parents will see the education director and my special aides. We'll have a ceremony, and then we will present all the items that will be on your prospectus, so your parents do not have to worry about getting you what you need to go to secondary schools.
To keep candidates energized and focused, Mr. Ampim also arranged for each student to receive at least one hot meal daily throughout the exam period.
As a member of parliament, I have resumed the program that I used to do, that every day I'm going to give you one hot meal. So today, after your first paper, you'll be given jollof, rice, and chicken.
The District Education Director, Augustina Ajoa Owusu, praised the MP's support, expressing confidence that this year's result could improve by up to 68%.
Most of them, when they break, they have to go buy something to eat. And the food available at the centers by the cooks who sell are few. And that makes it very cumbersome. When they have to get in for the next paper, it becomes a problem. And with the hot meal, they are going to eat the right time, prepare themselves adequately, within the shortest possible time to get into the examination room for the next paper. 1,943 students or candidates are writing, and we are hoping and expecting that we get 68% in all. Because last year, looking at the performance, if we want to improve, then our target should be 68. And my students and my teachers have promised me. So we are hoping that they will do their maximum best to improve upon last year's performance.
Some candidates also expressed gratitude for the hot meals, emphasizing their determination to meet the MP's challenge of scoring a single-digit result.
I'm very proud of what our member of Parliament, Thomas Ampinako, said to us, and I promise to make a single grade.
The fact that the MP is going to provide our prospectus for us when we're able to do good, I think we are going to challenge and do our possible best so as we can get the prospectus that he has promised to us.
For Joy News, Carlos Keloni, Esojaman constituency.
We still take you across the country on the BECE exam that's ongoing. The Member of Parliament for Esunafo North in the Ahafo region, Haruna Mohammed, is urging students across his constituency to uphold integrity as they sit for their final exams this year. The MP has strongly urged or admonished against malpractices in examinations, stressing that success must be earned through hard work.
The Esunafo North legislator visited final year students in the constituency to inspire and donate educational materials to them ahead of this year's basic education certificate examination, where a total of 3,426 will write the examination. Mr. Haruna noted that cheating in exams not only undermines the education system, but also destroys the moral foundation of the next generation.
Which is noted for examination malpractices. You know, for the past couple of weeks, we've been in the papers, we've been in the news, that out of the 16 regions, if you want to select 3 out of the regions, that is notable for examination malpractice, Ahafo, Bono, and Bono East. So I will advise my people that on Wednesday, they shouldn't let that perception, they should clear that perception among Ghanaians so that you come in the news with positive stuff.
The MP's advice comes at a time when education authorities are intensifying efforts to clamp down on malpractice, which continues to strengthen the credibility of Ghana's education system.
The purpose of this visit is to inspire, motivate our young people who are about to write the BECE exams. Honestly, like I was saying, you've been elected as an MP. It's not about providing them with road infrastructure, school, water, and whatever. At least we also have to develop our people. That is why we have human resource development. So I was in Kenya, but I had to cut my trip short to come and inspire our nephews, our siblings, and make sure they also have a brighter future.
He also assured the students of his continued support and pledged to improve educational infrastructure and learning materials to enhance academic performance in the constituency.
So if you are poor, then all your 9 years then come to me. So I am pleading with you students not to involve yourself in that, so that you come out with flying colors. I also want to encourage my colleague teachers. Those of us who are normally found of hiding somewhere, writing papers, giving to students to copy. In fact, if you are found of doing that as a teacher, I don't take that and the student fail in your subject. When he sees you tomorrow, after he will see his BECE results, he will not also respect you.
Joseph Akpalibo is the municipal chief executive for Esunafo North, and as a former teacher, he employs students and teachers to resist from aiding in the exam malpractices.
We have prepared them very well. We've taken them through how to answer questions in the exam hall, Because this is their first external exam. And so we've taken them throughout to answer questions in the exam board. We have also told them how to conduct themselves in the exam board. We have also given briefing to the examinations.
The Municipal Director of Education, Samuel Jatonla, said the area is fully prepared for this year's BECE. With final exam just a day away, the MP's message served as a timely reminder to students to hold fast to their values and trust their preparation. From MEM in the Hafo region, this is Emmanuel Edu-Jemfi's report for Joy News.
Well, I'll take you to the Central Region, where the Central Regional Education Director, Dr. Juliette Dufie-Otami, has disclosed that 54 candidates with special needs are taking part in the 2025 BECE examination in that region. Speaking during the monitoring exercise, selected examination centers, she noted that adequate provisions had been provided for the students.
Around, this is our first center, Wesleyville Senior High School, and as we observed, the students can compose. They are all writing their exams. You can see the confidence that they've had, because the morning we met them during the assembly, teachers and their head teachers presented them to the supervisors to welcome them with a lady of yes in them. And as they went round, they have also exhibited that really they are ready for this morning session. And as we said, in all, those that are writing for the whole region is 67,146, comprising 33,554 males and then 33,592 females. And this is also an offset on last year's number that we've seen an increase in the figures, and then we see that more females are writing this time compared to the males that are writing. But when we came around, the issue of students with special needs, we met one girl and she had speech disorder, and so it demands additional time. So we spoke into the supervisors, and they are even aware, and so they will give her extra time when all have finished. So far, so we've not. So you know how many? So the special needs children in the region is 54. Is 54, and one is here. And so the examination, she will only need extra time, and we saw that she was still busy writing. Yes. And I saw a student. In fact, he was just sitting down, and I approached him and asked him what was the problem. He said he's feeling feverish. So immediately we've asked the health personnel who has been stationed here to attend to him, and I know he will come back. Yes. I will tell the candidates that as we've seen them, like they are writing with confidence and fear, you see how they are writing fast. It means that everything is to their level. This one, they didn't go to import questions from anywhere. It is just what they have learned, as we have always told them. Yes, and so now they've seen the trend and they should go with it. Parents, we thank you for presenting your children. Remember, we didn't record any absentees in here, so we are encouraging them that throughout the week, all will come and write. We have all the facility for them, that when it comes critical, we are there to move in. Parents, please feed your children well. Ensure they sleep. They have enough sleep, and we are good to go. And community members also help us to curb exams malpractice, because when it happens, it has a lot of repercussion on the parents, on the students, and the community also at large, because you will be branded, and then the center will be moved from that place. So on the whole, I wish everyone good luck. We may be visiting other centers, and we hope that what we have seen here, we will see the same Yes, the place is calm and everything. Same here, we've not seen according to the supervisor too, nobody has observed it. Yes, so we don't know whether they are hidden ones. But if they are not, we are encouraging whoever has found himself or found himself in such a situation that they should come and write the exams. We are prepared for them. We have made all preparation towards their safety.
Well, I'll take you to the Volta region where Ivy Setoji, my colleague, is on standby to bring us updates. Ivy, so earlier when we engaged, they are just finished with their first paper. What's the situation? Are they done with the second one?
So they are done with the second one exactly 1 hour, 13 minutes ago. And most of the students have left the center. They are going to their various schools or their various homes. And it's heavily raining here in Ho and Sokode. So if you can see, the room is empty. The room is empty. So tomorrow is another day, according to the students. They will come and prepare for tomorrow. We spoke to some of them who said yes, they were able to do what they could, and they are sure that after everything next week, they will have a good laugh, according to some of them. So we also saw the pregnant girls. One was very visible, and one said it's 4 months gone by, was not that visible. We were able to speak with them. They are hopeful that after they have given birth, they will be able to go back to school and then continue their education. One of them said she wants to become a journalist. So we are hoping that the parents are able to take care of her and then take her back to school after childbirth. So yes, they are done, and the school, the so-called Tech as we speak, is empty. Now they are preparing for tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Ivy. That's some great updates from the Volta region. Now, back here in Accra, some students are hopeful that their preparations will yield the desired results, and they have been speaking with Adubia Asari.
I'm feeling hopeful because I always put Isaiah 41 verse 10 in my mind because the Lord said He will help us. So I'm feeling hopeful that we will all pass our BECE this year.
Not nervous, feeling normal, 100% prepared because we learned, so we are here to deliver.
So this is a 1-1-1 for all of you?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. So that's from Kim Edwards.
Very prepared about competing. In fact, our teacher is one of the best teachers in this whole region. Okay. Our teacher, he has prepared us very well. Competing is in our mind. It's our daily bread.
Oh my God. Congratulations in advance. Okay, so Rose Fair. I have Rose Fair. How are you feeling? Oh, I'm not getting your energy. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
What measures have you put in place that is making you believe that you really blow this paper?
Well, we've really prepared and we are praying to God that we will pass, and we have whatever our teachers have taught us, we have kept it. We have also taken advice from our parents, and we know we are going to pass.
You're watching The Pulse. Please stay with us. There's more after this break. Welcome back to The Pulse. And whilst you welcome back, I'm taking you back to Parliament where the Minority Leader, Alexander Penyumakin, is speaking.
Attention. So, Honorable Leader, I will ask you to ask the supplementary question, but it must flow directly from the answer he has given. Because if it's going to be something else, then probably we have to ask the minister to go back and prepare and come back. Because this is a house of records. We don't force him to probably give an answer that will turn out to be false. So you have the floor as a supplementary question, but it must flow from the answer he has given.
Mr. Speaker, I want you to set the record straight on this matter, and I'm happy Honorable Muntaka is in this chamber. Because, Mr. Speaker, there are senior members who have been insisting on the rules. I want you to bring a finality to this matter, which is, can a member rise on a point of order regarding a supplementary question with the aim of claiming that he is drawing the speaker's attention, or it is the speaker's sole right and discretion to admit a supplementary question or otherwise? Mr. Speaker, if you so rule that any member can rise to raise an objection, let the record reflect and I'll be guided. Because when people are talking about rules and the rules are being breached and the same people are sitting in this chamber, they won't talk. They won't talk. There are Sawasi MPs in this chamber and the majority leader is breaching the rule. He won't talk. He won't talk.
Leader, are you addressing me or are you addressing?
Mr. Speaker, I'm addressing you, Mr. Speaker. I want to say that if a certain precedent is being set, I'm not worried. Because one day I will have the chance to use the same precedent.
Yes. So
he should allow you to do your work. He shouldn't chip away your powers.
Very well.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, I'll proceed with the question. Honorable Minister, you have just told this House that you have set up a committee to investigate and validate the authenticity or otherwise of some of these appointment letters. I want to find out from you, in view of the investigation that you are doing, have you become aware of any petition in your office regarding such mass dismissals?
Minister, are you aware of any petition?
Mr. Speaker, this question is a very straightaway question, and we'll get a straightaway answer. If there were no such complaints, requests, there wouldn't have been a committee.
Well.
Those things have come. We are set up a committee and we're working on them. Why are you asking whether I'm aware? They are there. My man, my minority leader. We have been together for a long time, so just give it up. So I can.
Minister, just answer the questions. Don't say yes.
Honorable Minister, in the question, I referred you to the dates of the letter, 10th of February 2025. Fortunately, you have been honest with this House by saying that you become aware that as a sequel to that, we've had some mass dismissals. That is why you are investigating. Now, in view of the unemployment situation we have, would you, in the interim, direct, that is pending the investigation, let me bring clarity, instead of these innocent Ghanaians sitting at home without any job, would you direct that they get back their jobs pending the validation of their appointment letters? Because, Mr. Speaker, from what you are saying, you are not done yet. However, certain actions have been taken that have rendered them unemployed. Teachers, nurses, and we need teachers in rural communities. We need nurses in rural health facilities, CHIP compounds, etc. Would you, in the interim, suggest or direct that they are giving back their job pending the final outcome of the investigation?
Honorable Montaka, you hold on. Minister, just respond to the question.
Hey, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I don't have the capacity. Secondly, if I had the capacity, I don't have the basis. The basis must be clear from statistical evidence that would have come out from the investigations. Thank you.
Honorable Leader, I'll give you the last slot. You are a leader, that's why I have tolerated. This is the sixth question, supplementary question. So I will.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, Mr. Speaker, don't give. There are daggers out. Don't arm them to
leader.
Mr. Speaker, I've not asked. We withdrew.
Respectfully, I'm
very well, Mr. Speaker. Very well, very well.
Oh, you want to,
Mr. Speaker? No, don't encourage it, Mr. Speaker. Don't encourage it. Don't encourage it, Mr. Speaker. Don't encourage it. We have to finish this.
Honorable Montaka, just allow him to ask the last question, please. I beg of you.
He hasn't called you. So you said we should go by the rules. He hasn't called you. Don't put on your mic. He hasn't called you.
Honorable Leader, just ask the question, please.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister has told this House that until the investigations are over, he wouldn't know the total number of innocent Ghanaians who have been affected by this mass dismissal. He has on record also confirmed that indeed he's become aware of the dismissals. That is why he has set up the committee. What I want the minister to clarify on is whether he will, in view of the state of unemployment in the country, and in view of the fact that we need essential services to be rendered in our rural communities, teachers are needed, nurses are needed, would he recommend that pending the final outcome of the investigation, those who are currently suffering and are at home, they themselves, their dependents, their community will be restored in the interim? Would you recommend?
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of issues like that. I don't want to go there. Starting from the last 10 years, 8 years, and they have come forward to say that they had been dismissed for a very long time. They and their parents and their wives and their children suffered for 8 years. And today, Mr. Speaker, no, it's not politics. They suffered for 8 years. Now, if somebody, you are asking whether somebody who has been dismissed for 2 months, excuse me to say, has been dismissed for 2 months, whether it will be taken care of, I will expect that let's do a comprehensive stretch of the matter and help all those people. I'm very open to that. You know, the 2 months who have been left, plus the 8 years who have been left, let's put all together, and I'm willing to go the extra length to support so that we can take care of all of them. Mr. Speaker, it is something we will work together to solve, not just this one alone.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I'm done. I want to thank the minister for making an attempt. Mr. Speaker, let me thank him for making an attempt. But the jury is out there. The jury is out there.
Mr. Speaker, when did we have in our standing orders provisions for thanking the minister? When did we incorporate in the standing orders provisions for thanking ministers?
Yes, Chairman for the Economy Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the minister, is he aware that before such mass employment can be given to Ghanaians, it should be backed by financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance? I'm asking him, when you enter the office, have you come across this financial clearance? Have you come...
You hear him?
Mr. Speaker, I have not finished. I'm asking him, when he entered the ministry, has he come across this financial clearance with respect to this mass, employment?
Thank you.
Well. Minister.
No, Mr. Speaker, I haven't come across that. Financial clearance depends on the health of the economy. And we are told that the economy is not healthy now. So essentially, when it is done, I'm very sure they will give financial clearance.
Well. Yes. Honorable Mustafa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the minister when the investigation will be done for him to report to the House. When will the investigation that he has instituted will be completed for him to be able to report to the House? Thank you.
Well, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to monitor to find out when it will be done. And I don't know the time. It's ongoing. Thank you.
Well. Yes. Honorable Reverend Ntimfojo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister in reference to teachers. Is he aware that on 10th of May 2024, in a letter signed by the Minister for Finance, the clearance given for 18,000 teachers to be recruited? 2024.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if there was any such clearance, I'm not aware. But if there was, it would have expired by now. It would have expired by now, Mr. Speaker.
Well. Yes, Honorable Emmanuel Bejura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister whether the purported dismissal were those who are on contract, probationers, or people who are finished working and are going on retirement.
Minister, did you get this question? Please, can you repeat the question?
Mr. Minister, I want to find out whether the purported dismissal, whether there are people who were on contract, those who have reached their retirement time, and then whether they were probationers who are within the 6 months and were asked to go home.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me reiterate that we are investigating it all and it will reveal. I mean, the reason is that this question is not specific to say the number. I said I don't know the number, yet we are investigating it. Then you are asking a similar question, which is very similar to that one. So, Mr. Speaker, when the results come out, you will get to know.
Well. 1, 2, 3. Yes, Honorable Member for Menchiasa.
Honorable Minister, was there a prior impact analysis on the lives and families of those that were affected by the termination? Was there a prior impact analysis on the lives of those that were affected and their families before the termination was effected? Can you tell the House?
Honorable Member for Menchia, may I kindly ask you to file a fresh question? So that, yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister if the Minister is aware that there is an ongoing recruitment to fill the vacant positions that have been terminated by...
Yes, Honorable Minister. Or I should ask him to repeat the question. Honorable Member, may you repeat the question?
The Speaker, I am asking the Minister if he is aware that there are ongoing recruitment to fill the vacant positions that have been terminated as a result of the dismissal.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, please, let's listen to him. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I'm aware that some recruitments are happening. Whether they are replace those that were dismissed earlier or not, I cannot say.
Well. Honorable, hold on. Honorable Tailabi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Minister, have you had complaints from people who were dismissed 2017 to 2024? And if you have, can you give us an idea of how many people were dismissed?
Honorable Deputy Minister.
Wait a minute.
Honorable Deputy Minister.
Mr. Speaker,
the question is specific.
Mr. Speaker, let me amend my question. From the answers given by the minister, he indicated that there are petitions of people who were dismissed after 2016. I just want to know can you give us an idea of how many people have petitioned your office?
Honorable Minister. Honorable members, please allow me to handle the House, please. Honorable Deputy Minister, please. The minister did not come here to answer those members who has been probably released. Please ask a fresh question.
No, Mr. Speaker, please. In his answer, it's a follow-up to whatever answer the minister has given.
Yes.
The minister indicated to all of us here that some people were dismissed, and that
obviously the minister cannot just give the figures.
Until
minister, can you give the figures?
He wouldn't know, so he should tell us the numbers.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I won't be able to give you the number of people who were dismissed from 2017 to 2024, but there are complaints, and I can confirm that huge numbers of people have come to say that they too should be restored, and I can provide the evidence at a later time.
Well. Lastly, Honorable Jerry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister just admitted that he is aware of some recruitments that are being done. Is he in the position to give us details of the respective institutions that are carrying out such recruitments? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I can't get that for him.
Well. Leader.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, earlier on, the Honorable Minister indicated that investigations are ongoing, but the people have been removed from their respective offices. Mr. Speaker, with deference to you, I want to find out that is that a presupposition that the people were removed from offices without any basis?
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know how many times I have to repeat that. These things came to notice. We couldn't confirm. The Chief of Staff has put up a committee for investigating it, and it may be true, it may be not true. So let's wait until we get to the end.
Well, honorable members, we turn to question B. Question B, and the question stands in the name of Honorable Frederick Addy, a member for Swaman. Honorable member, you have the floor now. The minister is listening to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I ask the question, may I seek your leave to effect some corrections on the last paragraph of my question to be asked. Looking at I'm seeing 7th March 2025. It's supposed to be 4th December 2024. So, Minister.
Don, may I find out, Minister, the question that came to you? What was the date? Because that can be substantial. He is insisting it's December 2024. Is that not right?
Yes. It's
From
supposed
your
to be
question.
4th December 20. The 7th March.
Yes, Minister. I want to be clear. If the question that came to you was in respect of the date December 2024, because that's what he is saying. If it is 2025 that came to you, I believe your answer is going to be based on 2025 and can give a different. I don't know whether I'm making myself clear to you. I just want to find out the question that was transmitted to you. It's what? 7th March. Honorable Member for Swaman, he says 7th March. Do I ask him to go ahead with the answer? Because the answer may be different.
The question has the same headline. It's only the date that has been changed. But we brought the date on to be the 4th of December 2024.
So I just want to, if the answer will still satisfy you, then I'll ask the minister to go ahead to answer the question.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Will the answer satisfy you?
Yes, please.
Very well. Minister.
It depends. I rise to...
Honorable Muntaka.
Mr. Speaker, with the greater respect, the rules are very clear. If his question is about 7th December and it's been written 7th March, that's not the question he asked. And therefore, he cannot be answered. The minister will have to be given time to come and answer the December 7th question. But if we now sit and say that, oh, the wordings are the same, Mr. Speaker, as you know, from December 7th, 2024, is completely different from December 7th March 2025. And that's a duration of about 4 or about 3 months. So obviously the answers cannot be the same. And the tendency, Mr. Speaker, because it's also an urgent question, there's no opportunity for him to know the answer the minister is going to provide. The minister will provide an answer, and then before you realize, it degenerates into debate, which is also against Order 87. So I think the right thing is for us to get the right question so that the right answer is given. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I think I'll have to go with what Honorable Muntaka has just said. Because this is an urgent question, and mostly urgent questions, the answers are not provided on the order paper. So as to whether the member, the owner of the question, will be satisfied with the answer is another thing. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate what my colleague, Honorable Muntaka, has tried to guide us to avoid. But in this instance, the question is premised on an incident, the incident of the theft of ICT equipment, except that the question has gotten the date of the incident wrong. So once the minister confirms that indeed that incident took place, the minister is on firm grounding to provide the answer. And I think that is what the honorable colleague is saying. And Mr. Speaker, being
I believe, backbencher to get us to a stage where we have admitted his urgent question.
But Honorable Leader,
the minister has the answer as well.
Yes, Honorable Leader. Incidentally, I admitted the question, and the date is indeed 7th March. So it's the 7th March, that is the date that was transmitted to the minister. So I think the minister can go ahead and answer the question. So, Honorable Member, you brought the question, the date on it was 7th March, not the December you are talking about. This is the question.
Except that prior to asking the question, he's trying to draw our attention that he got the date wrong. And so he wants to correct the date even as he's asking the question. I think that's what he's trying to do. Live long, leader. Live long, leader.
So just go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, do you want to announce your presence here?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Labour, Job and Employment what urgent security measures are being implemented to protect the ministry facilities and restore public confidence following the theft of ICT equipment at the ministry on the 4th of December 2024. That's all. That's it.
Where are you reading your question from?
That is B.
No.
B.
But he's still saying December. But the question on the other paper is 7th March. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we will engage our colleague to address the matter. I believe that this is a House of Records. To the extent that the amendment was not made ground, you admitted 7 March. So I would engage him so that the right information is transmitted for the minister to come back at the right time. Yes.
Minister, what do you say? Or you want?
Mr. Speaker, there are two things about this. Yes. There's a substance, which is the answer to a theft he's looking for, and there's a date, which is non-essential.
Okay.
I will provide the substance, which is more important than the date. Mr. Speaker.
But the owner of the question has already read the question. So,
Leader.
So you go ahead. Once he has read the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Leader, with all your indulgence, following the unfortunate incidents, the ministry collaborated with the security and intelligence agencies to apprehend the suspects. Subsequently, the suspect was apprehended and has since been convicted by the Accra Circuit Court for 2 years for unlawful entry and stealing. Mr. Speaker, however, the ministry has intensified its security checks to avert any similar occurrences in the future. This includes regular screening of visitors, instituting restricted visiting hours for all clients of the ministry, and beefing up the 24-hour CTC TV security surveillance. The measures are evaluated and reviewed periodically for continuous improvements on the security situation of the ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Swaman, supplementary questions, if any.
No, please. I'm okay.
Very well. Honorable members, any supplementary question from any member? Very well. Yes, honorable member for Aswansi.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister, was there any theft on 7th March 2025 at the ministry?
Yes, honorable minister.
Mr. Speaker, you would find that the questioner was not very specific about the dates, but there was a theft, and it has been addressed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know that there was a theft and there was a response to the theft, and we worked on it.
Yes, honorable member for Asante Achim Central.
Mr. Speaker, I would want to refer you to Order 86. Mr. Speaker, the question that Honorable Muntaka asked, specifically 86(1)(d), a question shall not raise an issue already decided or which has been answered substantially during the current session. The minister already corrected this date issue, and I was surprised that Honorable Muntaka was raising the issue about the 7th March whether there was a theft or not. It has become obtuse. Thank you.
Well noted. Yes, honorable member for Cementing. Efia.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the Honorable Minister whether the convict was a staff of the institution or an outsider.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it was an outsider. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Stephen Amoa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know the reasons and whether the answers are going to restore what I'm going to ask. In my constituency, about 9 young, able, qualified citizens of Ghana went through all the needed processes required of them to be employed. And they've been sacked.
Honorable Stephen,
including
you've gone
a teacher.
past that. Honorable Stephen, file a question.
This one's about Nshiaso.
Yeah, file a question. You've gone past that.
No, it's about Nshiaso. Stephen, if I can finish.
Honorable Stephen, you've gone past that question.
And the solution is provided.
It has no relation to this. So file a question.
Yes.
Lastly, let me listen to Bosome Freho.
Mr. Speaker.
This particular, yes, Bosome Freho.
Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister if he can reiterate the clear-cut security measures that have been implemented to ensure that the place is secured.
Minister, any measures?
Mr. Speaker, the security measures have been stated very clearly. We have instituted a CTC camera 24 hours. We have made sure you now go through some scrutiny before you can go into the ministry. We have consulted the security services. They have put in place some security network which can track anybody who has done anything, even physically, by manually. So enough security has been put in place. Thank you.
Honorable members, since the minister is here, the minister still has a question to ask on the normal schedule. So I will skip other urgent questions scheduled for Honorable Minister for Defense to ask the owner of the question for 38 to ask for the minister to respond so that we can discharge him and come back to. So normal question 38 stands in the name of Honorable Vincent Ekwa Asafua Oltafo. Yes? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I stand on Order 88.3 and want to crave your indulgence that in the absence of Honorable Eko Vincent Asefua, I have his mandate to ask the question. And I...
Well. All well. You are granted. So go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. Leader, I beg of you. Let's move on.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Labor.
Hold on. You hold on. Yes, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday, when questions were asked of ministers and the ministers didn't show up, it was as if, Mr. Speaker, I don't want to use certain expressions.
Yeah. So don't use that.
There was an earthquake in this chamber. Why the minister hadn't turned up to answer the question? The same people are asking ministers questions. The ministers have come and they are not here to ask the questions. Mr. Speaker, can he show the written authority? This is a House of Record. We want to see the record of the authority granted you to ask this question. When you insist on ministers being here to answer questions, you should also be here to ask the questions.
Honorable Majority Leader, well noted. So,
Mr. Speaker, we are here to encourage our first-timers and the backbenchers. Now, today's records will reflect that the majority leader and leader of the House heckled a first-timer. And that is what just happened. He heckled a first-timer.
Honorable Member for Boston Freho, you may go ahead to ask the question.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Labor, Job and Employment the measures the ministry is putting in place to ensure that foreign companies operating in Ghana adhere to the labor practices of employees being compensated usually at 150% of their normal hourly wage for working overtime.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Labor Act 2003, Act 651, makes specific provisions for matters relating to standard working hours, paid and unpaid overtime. Section 33 of Act 651 provides for maximum hours, while Section 34 provides for different hours of work. Section 335 of Act 651 guarantees paid overtime. It provides that where a worker in an undertaking works after the hours of work fixed by the rules of that undertaking, the additional hours done shall be regarded as overtime work. It further adds that a worker in any such undertaking may not be required to do overtime work unless that undertaking has fixed rates of pay for overtime work. It is important to emphasize that a worker shall not be compelled to do overtime work except for undertakings or enterprises the very nature of which requires overtime in order to be viable, or which are subject to emergencies to prevent or avoid threats to life and property. So, Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the above provisions, a worker may be required to work beyond the fixed hours of work without additional pay in certain exceptional circumstances, including an accident threatening human lives or the very existence of the undertaking. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry, through the Labour Department, undertakes regular inspections of all workplaces, including foreign companies, and receives intelligence on labour practices. By virtue of this, the Ministry ensures that employees of foreign companies are compensated appropriately for overtime work done in the undertaking, and where non-compliance is observed, these foreign companies are punished in accordance with the law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
On the Pulse today, we've been bringing you live proceedings from Parliament. And my colleague James Aveji is still there. You want to stay with us here on Joy News for everything that would happen in Parliament today. Right now, though, please stay for Business Live with Pius Kujo Baka.